Pollination in flowering plants. Like all other organisms, plants also reproduce. In flowering plants, flowers are the main reproductive part. A flower has a stamen and pistil. The stamen is the male reproductive part of the flower. It consists of a filament and a tiny bag-like structure called the anther. Anther holds the mass of powdery particles called pollen grains, which contain the male reproductive cell. Pistil is the female part of the flower. It consists of a stigma, which is the sticky area at the top of the style. Style is a tube-like structure and is connected to the ovary. An ovary is present at the bottom and contains the female egg cells called ovules. When fertilization occurs, the pollen grains are transferred from the anther to the stigma of the pistil. This process is called pollination. Let's learn various methods of pollination. Insects sit on a flower to get nectar for their food. They are easily attracted by the bright color and strong smell of the flower. When an insect sits on a flower, some pollen grains stick to their legs and body. As they transfer these pollen grains from flower to flower, some pollen grains stick to the stigma of the flower. This type of pollination is called insect pollination. Insects are not the only medium that promotes cross-pollination. In some plants like wheat, rice, and grass, flowers lack sepals and petals. Their stamens are exposed. When wind blows, it carries along some pollen grains. These pollen grains are dropped along the way on the stigma of another flower. This is called wind pollination. In some cases, pollen from the anther land on the sticky stigma of the same flower, and the process is called self-pollination. Pollen grains cannot just transfer from the anther to the stigma by themselves. Thus, pollination is essential to continue the life cycle of a flowering plant. Here is a quick recap of the topic.